Hello. Now it's about 11, half past 11 or something like that. I should be asleep. I've been having trouble sleeping the last couple of nights. Just haven't been able to get to sleep and then been tired during the day. So I thought I'd make something up to try and help me sleep. So what I'm going to do tonight is the first in a series of a few herbal teas that I'm going to go over. Just easy, simple things using herbs that you've probably got in the garden. Now there's two herbs that you can use in aiding you to sleep. One's rosemary and one's thyme. Now I've got a little sprig of each here. Now this is the easiest way to do this. Now everyone's got one of these pretty much. Coffee plunger. Now really, how often do you use it? Most of us probably only use it every once in a while after a dinner party or something like that. But you can use it for things like this. Sorry if I'm a bit tired. I'm not sleeping, but I'm half asleep. Alright, now just grab your thyme. And I'm just going to use my mortar and pestle. You could just give it a bash with the back of the knife if you want. And my rosemary. Now, I just want to bruise it a little bit because I want the oils to come out. Both of these aid in sleep. So all I'm going to do, just give it a quick bash. That'll do. Tip it into here. Just straight in. You don't have to worry about it being in bits and pieces because of the plunger, which is the beauty of using a plunger for things like this. You can just empty it out like you would the coffee grinds. Now I add a bit of tea. Now if you don't have any kind of black tea loose, which not everyone has, you can just use a tea bag. This is just a black tea bag. Just going to rip it open, make sure it doesn't go everywhere. Tip that in. Get some freshly boiled water, not just boiled, like boiling still. Let it sit for a few minutes. Fill it up. Now I'm putting a lot in, I'll explain why in a sec. There we go. Put your lid on. Let it steep for about 5 minutes and then push the plunger right down, same as you do with coffee. Now the reason I'm making a lot of it is I'm going to make a cup for myself. I'm going to have a cup before I go to bed, and the rest I'm going to pour into a large mug, and I'm going to have it in my room. So I'm kind of going on the theory of digesting it and inducing some sleep, and the aromatherapy of it being in the room too. Now things like thyme, and especially rosemary, are natural disinfectants. So what I'm going to, and fresheners. So what I'm going to do tomorrow morning when I get up after a good night's sleep, I'm going to get the bowl and the cold tea, and I'm just going to chuck it in the sink, wash around actually get the sponge, wash around the sink and just pour it down, just give it a bit of a clean. Like obviously I use normal cleaners and stuff like that to clean everything, but stuff like that's really good too. So you won't kill germs and things like that with rosemary tea solution, but it brings in a nice smell, and it's kind of nice to use too, and it's natural. So if you get organic tea and you've been using the herbs out of your own garden, which you've grown organically, you've got a nice drink. And you can see that starting to change colour there. Don't add any sugar, alright, when you're doing teas like this. Now they're not, let's be honest, they're not the nicest tasting things in the world, but I'm only going to have a small cup of it, just like a normal little cup, just a little one. Don't add milk or sugar or anything like that. I'll have a cup of this, and then I'll have the rest in the room. Just hopefully some of the smell will go through and it'll all be cool. Now give that a bit of a plunge. I'll leave it for a few minutes, have a drink, and that'll be it. I'll be back in the next couple of weeks, and I'll go through some other teas that you can make up using different herbs. It's amazing what you can make up with herbs. I'll go through some books that you can have a look at too, just to try and use some of the stuff you're growing in the garden beyond just the culinary purposes of them. Alright, good night, see you soon.